Stoicism is a school of thought that has profoundly influenced moral and ethical philosophy, emphasizing the importance of virtue, reason, and self-control for a good life. Let's take a closer look at each of the following philosophers and their importance in the Stoic tradition. Marcus Aurelius, 121–180 AD. He was a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. His personal collection of writings called Meditation provides insights into his thinking on Stoic philosophy and how he applied its principles to his life. Himself as a ruler, these works are considered a classic of Stoic literature. Seneca, 4 BC, 65 AD. Seneca was a famous Stoic philosopher, statesman, and playwright. He served as an advisor to Emperor Nero and wrote extensively on Stoic ethics, covering topics such as anger, fear, and the pursuit of wisdom. His Letters to Lucilius, Letters from a Stoic, offers practical advice on how to live a virtuous life. Epictetus, 50–135 AD. Epictetus was born a slave and later became a prominent Stoic philosopher. His teachings focus on the distinction between what is within our control, our thoughts, desires, and actions, and what is not, external events. His works were compiled by his student Arrian and preserved in Discourses and Enchiridion, a manual of his main teachings. Zeno, 334–262 BC. Zeno of Citium is considered the founder of Stoicism. He founded the Stoic school in Athens and laid the foundations for the main principles of philosophy. Unfortunately, most of Zeno's writing has ceased to exist, but his ideas were passed on to subsequent Stoic philosophers. Musonius Rufus, 1st century AD. Musonius Rufus was a Stoic philosopher who taught Epictetus. He emphasized the practical application of Stoic principles in everyday life, including topics such as ethics, education, and the roles of men and women in society. Diogenes Laertius, 3rd century AD. Diogenes Laertius is known for his work, The Lives and Perspectives of Prominent Philosophers, in which he provides biographical information and an account of his work. Teachings of many philosophers, including those of the Stoic tradition. While his credibility has been debated, his writings offer valuable insights into the history of philosophy. Stoicism continues to be studied and appreciated for its timeless wisdom and practical guidance on how to live an ethical and meaningful life. The work of these philosophers, as well as that of others in the Stoic tradition, left a lasting legacy in the field of ethics and philosophy. Together, we are about to embark on a journey of exploration through 100 profound sayings of the Stoic philosophers. These sayings offer guidance on embracing the present moment, finding joy in every instant, and confronting life's challenges with tranquility and patience. Let the wisdom contained within these sayings serve as a wellspring of inspiration and a compass for our lives. Through them, we can cultivate confidence, clarity of thought, and unwavering determination. Prepare yourself for a captivating voyage where the brilliance of Stoic knowledge will illuminate our path and rejuvenate our spirits. Confine yourself to the present. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind repugnant to reason and against nature. A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer.
A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope.
Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. All the good are friends of one another. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. Blushing is the color of virtue. Cease to hope, and you will cease to fear. Conceal a flaw, and the world will imagine the worst. Consider at what price you sell your integrity, but please, for God's sake, don't sell it cheap. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Difficulty comes from our lack of confidence. Dogs and philosophers do the greatest good and get the fewest rewards. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and all will be well with you. Each day provides its own gifts. Extravagance is its own destroyer. Fate guides the willing, but drags the unwilling. First, learn the meaning of what you say and then speak. For many men, the acquisition of wealth does not end their troubles, it only changes them. Give yourself a gift, the present moment. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You will be able to use them better when you are older. Have I been made for this, to lie under the blankets and keep myself warm? He who is brave is free. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. He with the most who is content with the least. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only at what he does himself, to make it just and holy. How ridiculous and strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. How trivial the things we want so passionately are. Humanity must seek what is not simple and obvious using the simple and obvious. Hurry up and live. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. If you want something good, get it yourself. Ignorance is the cause of fear. It does not matter how many books you have, but how good are the books which you have. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. It is difficulties that show what men are. It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. Know you not that a good man does nothing for appearance sake, but for the sake of having done right? Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Knowledge is no guarantee of good behavior, but ignorance is a virtual guarantee of bad behavior. Let your desires be ruled by reason. Life is long if you know how to use it. Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Life, if well lived, is long enough. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the principles and notions which they form concerning things. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. No great thing is created suddenly. No loss should be more regrettable to us than losing our time, for it's irretrievable. No man is free who is not master of himself. Only by exhibiting actions in harmony with the sound words which he has received will anyone be helped by philosophy. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Poverty is a virtue which one can teach oneself. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by rulers as useful. Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life. Settle on the type of person you want to be and stick to it, whether alone or in company. Since every man dies, it is better to die with distinction than to live long. Steel your sensibilities so that life shall hurt you as little as possible. That man lives badly who does not know how to die well. The best answer to anger is silence. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. The mob is the mother of tyrants. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. The only way to live a good life is by doing good to others. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. There could be no justice unless there were also injustice, no courage unless there were cowardice, no truth unless there were falsehood. Freedom is not about having everything you want, but about not being bound by what you don't want. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power or our will. Thus, whoever destroys human marriage destroys the home, the city, the whole human race. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. I don't care what others think of me, I only care what I think of myself. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. What really ruins our character is the fact that none of us looks back over his life. When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends by having many acquaintances but no friends. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. While we are postponing, life speeds by. While we wait for life, life passes. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. You could not step twice into the same river. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Face difficulties with a strong spirit and patience, for that's how you grow.